It's day 7 of trying to set up our Build Empire LMS in Totara as a marketer. Today I'm going to run through how to build a personalised dashboard specifically for our learners. Now, just as a recap, in case you missed any of our earlier videos, the goal of our LMS is to teach our internal staff about Totara and Build Empire, especially in regards to any major and minor releases. While we have a range of different teams that are all using the product or selling the product, so product knowledge is really important. Historically, we've had sessions from our projects team to see what's going on in any new releases, but we decided we wanted something a bit more tangible. So today I'm going to be making a dashboard for all of my learners, and I'm thinking of keeping it basic. I'm just going to have it the same for all learners, no matter what team they're on. So we have marketing, sales, devs, but I feel like they all need some of the same things, like all of the same things. So I'd really love to hear anyone else's thoughts on that though. So please let me know. Also, just as a reminder, a dashboard is what you see when you first log in. It's basically your homepage. So when you log in, your dashboard gives you a snapshot of everything you need to stay on top of your learning. It includes your current courses, learning plans, deadlines, badges, and important updates all in one place. So if you're a manager, you might want to see your learning as well as reports showing how your team is getting on. That is where setting up different dashboards for different users is really powerful because it means you can make the experience more tailored. And research does suggest by Gartner that if you give users pre-configured role-based dashboards, you can actually boost the number of people using the system daily by about 30 to 40%. That's because they immediately see the data that matters most to them. So for your learners, you wouldn't want blocks on there that are irrelevant to them. And the same with managers or any other users you might need to accommodate for. The goal is to make their dashboard as easy to use as possible with relevant information only. Let's get started. So here's what my learner dashboard looks like. It's totally blank slate at the moment, but editing it is really easy. So I'll show you how to edit it for your learners. This is something I actually learned in my previous episode as Susanna showed me how to edit dashboards for users. So I'm going to make sure this is set up correctly. You have to click on Manage Dashboards, then Create Dashboard. I've created the learner dashboard and then I'll assign only the learner audiences to that one. Okay, so we're in the right place editing our learner dashboard, and now when I'm in edit mode and click to add a new block, you can see there's absolutely loads of blocks available. Now remember, you do get more with the Build Empire edition, so not all of these are available in Core Totara. But despite the huge list, I don't want our dashboard to be overwhelming. I'm going to try and keep the goal of the LMS in mind here and make sure that I'm just using blocks that help me to encourage users to engage with learning and remind users about upcoming due dates. Plus, I want to add a bit of fun as well. So let's start adding some blocks in. I'm going to start with a Build Empire Edition only block, which is the dashboard banner block. This is going to sit at the very top of the dashboard and act a bit of like a top banner in a website would. You can update the banner so it includes information like announcements or important news. So this block is really good at giving learners a glance at what's happening that's related to them. I think it's a really great way to show learners what's happening so they can get involved. So I'll add that in here and personalise it. So just click the plus button. It'll open up a drop down. So I'll search dashboard banner here and it should come up. Yep, here it is. So I'll select that now. For our learners, I can promote new features to learn and I can jazz it up a bit, like strengthen your skills in Totara and the edition. And it's showcasing the benefit of learning rather than just do this learning because or like a boring complete this course now. Alternatively, if it were more of an announcement type banner, like a webinar or an event for team training, I could promote that here as well. This block is intended to be updated regularly, so bear that in mind if you're going to use it as well. If I can't update it regularly, but I still want to have it, then I'm going to make sure that the content's evergreen, so it'll last for a few months, for example, rather than days and weeks. So if it says new Totara product release training, that would still work for a few months while it's new, but after a few months, it's no longer really new anymore. So any messaging around that wouldn't be accurate. Now, when I've ran through this as an example on branding with Susanna, she thought it looked good, that style that I did. So I'll add that style back in and show you. So if you click into settings here, you can see where you can add an image and text where you want to link it to as well. So you can link it to different courses within your LMS. I did get mistaken with this one in the past with featured links because of the similar aspects, but for the dashboard banner block, you do have to have the image either left or right of the text rather than full width. That was another thing that I'm learning on this LMS Diaries series, so that's the dashboard banner block added. Okay, now that the dashboard banner block is in, I want to showcase courses front and centre. I actually first need to decide how many columns I want though, so I could have 1, 2 or 3. I think 3 columns are the best because it gives a lot of room to add blocks above the fold. And if you're not sure what that is, above the fold is the web page content that immediately is visible without scrolling. So this will help our learners see everything and keep engaged without having to scroll everywhere to find what they're looking for. One thing to note on columns 2 is how the mobile view looks. So I'm going to be resizing the page a lot to see how it changes the order of blocks as they stack at the top, but I'll wait till I've got all my blocks to do this though. Right, now I can add in my course block, which is a really good one to show what you're currently working on and your progress. This is going to be perfect for showing the B team where they're at with their learning. The learning plan section highlights your goals and competencies so you can see what's completed and what's coming up next. It's pretty obvious that this one is essential for learners and it's something that we built in the edition with them in mind. So I'll definitely include that one. So let's add that in here. Same as before, I'll click the drop down and add in the block. Type in my courses for it, and now you can see the block in place as we still need to build a course. It is blank for the time being. Type in my learning. The learning plan section highlights your goals and competencies so you can see what's completed and what's coming up next. It's pretty obvious that that one is essential for learners and it's something we built in the edition with them in mind, so I'll definitely include that one. So let's add that in here. Again, same as before, I'll click the drop down and add it in. Here it is. Now you can see the block in place as we still need to build a course. It is blank for the time being, but you can see where it would sit and just imagine what it would look like for now. It's definitely all going to look better once I have some course imagery showing up here. And then I really love badges. They are one of my favourite blocks. They are part of our gamification features showing learners progress and boosting motivation as they move through their courses. You can add both earned and available badges using the latest badges block. If you watch the previous episodes, we have enhanced the Totara badges block in our edition, so learners can get even more detail now compared to the core Totara. We do love a bit of competition here at Build Empire, so I think this block will really help with that. We could all compete for the highest number of badges and see who wins. Plus badges, when I come onto the gamification episode, I'll talk about this more, but they will form part of the leaderboard points. So it's just a fun way to boost learner engagement. I'll be definitely adding this block to the LMS now. So I think I'm getting the hang of this now. So click the plus button again and drag the badges in. On a lot of our dashboards we use the demos, the badges always seem to be on the left hand side, so I'll put it in there for now. Seems like a good fit for me. Again, it is empty, so let's just imagine it's not for this sake, but I'm going to look forward to the LMS being padded out when I do get to those stages. And I'll just have a look at some of the other blocks to see what else I could add. So there is last course access. This will be good for the team so they can see where they're up to if they've had to leave a course midway through for whatever reason. I'll add this in here too using the same steps. Click the big plus and then add. I'll drop it in here for now. Next activity is also a favourite actually, so let's add that in. It shows learners what they're suggested to learn next. This is one that will hopefully keep the team learning. I'll type that in here again and move it into a different position for now. Then we have my learning. So now this is one I like because I think it really helps having all your learning in one place. So you don't have to keep clicking around into the nav from the dashboard. Let's add that one in here. Same steps as before. And there is latest announcements. This one, from what I can see, shows learners updates. This one I think would be really good for us, but I think there is a big crossover with the dashboard banner block. I think if I add this in for now, and then I'll make sure that I differentiate the purposes of the two. For example, the announcements could be more useful for information on team meetings or events or webinars. And then the dashboard banner block could be, as I said before, could link more to new learning, new product features. So they're all added in now. Now, looking at a couple of others, we've got reports. Reports for learners isn't really going to be as important as it would be for managers, so I'll skip that one, but I'll run through it in the next episode. Featured links, I could add them in. Let's click and have a look and see. Okay, this is taking up a lot of room where it is now, and I feel like the dashboard already has a lot of stuff on there at the minute actually, so yeah, let's remove that. There are so many blocks in here, as you can see too while I'm scrolling. Let me know in the comments if you think I'm missing any of these blocks and I can go back in and add them in after this episode. I don't want the dashboard being too noisy, so I think I'm just going to leave it there for now. Now, moving on to accessibility and readability, we've talked about this in the previous episodes, and the same truths on branding obviously apply to the dashboard. So it needs to be designed with readability in mind. So colour contrasts, icons, and clear headings make it easier for people to find information. So, as Susanna said, if you do notice anything that looks different on the dashboard, then definitely go into your settings and change it. Right now, I do think the blocks are blending too much into the background, as Susanna mentioned as well, so let's add a bit of dimension. I'll jump into the brand colour settings. So let's make this background grey and I'll edit it here. Then I'll save. Let's take a look. Now this grey is looking a bit too dark, so I think I'll go back in and lighten it a bit. Let's go back into the settings. Okay, this one is a little paler, so let's see what that looks like. Yeah, that looks much better. So now I've decided on the blocks, I'm going to move them around to different positions. You can order them in priority and focus on how the design flows throughout the dashboard. Right now I'm in edit mode and you can see how easily things move around with this icon here. And just drag and drop the blocks wherever I want them. So let's keep the dashboard banner block at the top, as this makes the most sense there visually. Then column-wise, I said I'd do 3, so last courses could go on the left. I think, yeah, that makes the most sense. I'll put that there. Next activity could be next to that too, but below, as it's similar in a sense of it's guiding them to the next course, whether it's to finish a course off or to start the next recommended one. Then for badges, I do usually see them on the left, but I'll move them over to the right for now, so there's a little bit more space. So I'll drag them here. That's done. My learning can go, oh, and before I forget to, I'm going to keep resizing my screen so I can see how the blocks are stacking on different devices. My learning can go in the middle, so it's easy to access all the learning in one place. Let's drag that here. Okay, so it's looking full of blocks, but as I keep saying, they're not populated yet. So we'll just have to imagine that they are. Now I've got them all in place. The dashboard will evolve over time as I use the LMS, and when I get some real feedback from the team, I can see how it works for them and which blocks are the most helpful. And right now, as you can see, I'm building my LMS from scratch. It's hard to tell what would be the most useful. I was slightly worried about overcrowding the page, so I'll test it with the team first, see how they react. But when it does go live though, I don't want to be making any big changes then, so testing is a must. Okay, now we have a learner's dashboard. As I said, we might refine it over time, but for now, that's looking pretty good and it is tailored to our learners' needs. And that's it for day 8. The dashboard for learners is now set up. This will be a central spot for learners to track progress, access their courses, and to stay updated with the latest company info. The takeaway for the day is quality over quantity. We don't want a busy dashboard full of irrelevant information. I think we're left with a really strong dashboard design here that can be built onto if it's needed. But yeah, that's it for now. And next time I'm going to be having a go at setting up dashboards for our managers. It should be similar in some ways because a lot of the thinking and setup is the same, but it's showing you how to tailor it to another audience. So I can't wait to see how that goes, and I'll see you in the next episode.